Okay, hello. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm very sorry if I seem a bit nervous because I am. Um, I've been moseying around on the forums of Personality Cafe for a while now. I think in the meantime I have, I don't know, 80 posts, something like that. The first time I heard about MBTI was when I was on my second job, and I found the concept very interesting because people, not really, I don't know, not people maybe, but basically the whole concept of we're going to analyze how you work and your system, and I don't know, it was something I found very interesting. I didn't really pay much attention to it at that moment, but then also at that moment I tested as an INFP. I don't know, it might be I was 17 years old at the time, maybe 18, so it can be related to that. I'm not sure. Whatever. I thought I might just answer one of the questionnaires because I already filled out one. I browsed the forums. I checked up on cognitive functions. I'm fairly certain I'm an NTP. I'm let's say 98.5% certain I'm NTP. I was fairly certain I was an INTP, but I don't know. Some things just don't click. I know a lot of the stereotypes, which are basically there, sometimes blatantly wrong, but sometimes they're there for a reason. I have a feeling a lot of them are about male INTPs or people with either a very low FE or I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a female and we're kind of socially more pushed into the role of developing our FE earlier on. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe I'm just an ENTP. I actually never considered the fact because I've always considered myself an introvert. I'm someone, I need my alone time. I love doing solitary things like reading and playing video games, RPGs, woot. Good RPGs, no Skyrim, no Dragon Age Inquisition, both. But listening to music. But on the other hand, I work in tech support. I work basically, I'm not going to say my dream job, but where I am right now in my life, it's quite great because I work on a first line service desk, so not a help desk. I don't deal with outside clients, but only people that work in my company. But I was kind of hired as the most technical person on that team, and they let me free to, I'm not going to say to pick and choose. Of course, I need to do some of the routine stuff as well, password presets, all of that. But since they say 3 words and I know what the problem is and I fix it, and so that doesn't really take that much time. It's a bit tedious at times, but it's okay. But that also means because they trust my technical capabilities, that I can sort of pick and choose the weird tickets, the things that don't get solved, I don't know, the things that after 2 days of delving into it, it was, for example, last time it was uploading something in an XML scheme to a site of the Belgian government. Super efficient, not really. It was something I'd never done before. I have a bit of knowledge of HTML, so I understand the concepts and nesting and all of that, and closing and opening the tags, but it was completely new to me, and I was basically ready to throw my PC out of the window. It's not mine, it's my job, so I don't care. But after, I think, 3 days, I'm not someone, I can't stop trying to fix it, even if I hate the fact that it's not working or that there are continuously, I'm getting continuously things like, oh, but wait, maybe if you try this, oh, wait, look at that, oh, maybe we can try that, let's just, come on, just one more time, maybe this time we can do it. And then finally, it worked, miraculously, I might almost add, basically by using the way I cheated previously on games. You know what, I only need this part of the XML scheme. Let's just open it in Notepad, copy all of the rest of the shit out of it, throw it away, and use that example instead of the XSD file as base of our scheme. And it was kind of a shortcut slash hack slash creative solution, but it worked. And if it's not something you do, I don't really know how to describe it. If you've ever done drugs, something or did a substance or whatever that makes you feel completely euphoric, that's the feeling I get. I think there's some biochemistry stuff going on. The reward, what is it? Hypothalamus? No, the whatever thing that releases dopamine, I think. It's amazing. I was bouncing off the walls. I'm completely forgetting the fact that I was going to reply the thingamabob. Okay, no, I was actually doing that. Okay, so why am I unsure? Because I think I'm quite social. I'm not antisocial, but I don't like big crowds. They make me very uncomfortable. And in the train station, I've had a couple of anxiety attacks. But I think I read something about anxiety, and also basically it's related a bit with SI, because you can remember, oh, the last time I was here I had this feeling, and it's easier that it's more you're more susceptible to it at that moment. Oh yeah, also English is my second, third-ish language, so sorry for the mistakes I'm making. But on the other hand, I talk on the phone a lot with people, which on almost every INTP thing I read, and I'm not talking about the stereotypes, but basically on the INTP forum, it's something they really dislike. And I'm not saying I'm going to call my users for fun, but there are some genuinely interesting people, and I don't mind that. I also often go to colleagues. I'm good friends with our third level support, which is kind of weird for somebody in my function, but whatever. I don't know, I go bounce ideas off them, maybe. I need my alone time, but on the other hand, something I read actually accurately described it. I like to be around people. For example, when I have to do something, a chore, or sometimes my best friend is here, and then he's saying, "Oh, I'm really tired." Actually, you don't really have something at me. I don't know how to say it in English. Sorry. At this moment, and I'm saying, no, it's okay. Basically, just the fact, you're here, you're present. I can talk sometimes, and I know I'm not just talking to myself, which I do as well. I think it's normal. No, to my cat, stuff like that. Crazy cat lady alert. I know I am not looking a lot in the camera. I'm trying. I find it very. There is a little light above the camera. I'm finding it very creepy. Okay. So back to the task at hand. What do you yearn for in life? If you would have asked me 10 years ago, I might have said a good relationship and family and stuff like that, because I come from a family where that's really important, and I don't think it's really just an adopted value. I don't know, to be honest. I can't be sure. It's who I am, so voila. And I think maybe that's one of the reasons why I was always testing as an INFP. But now I have a family. I'm engaged to be married next month. I have two adorable, frightening, adorable little angel slash monsters. Look, I made my own wedding invitation. Do you see the Easter egg? And I kind of feel like now that I have all that, I have my steady home base. My husband is, we're not really sure. I've tried letting him at least take the cognitive function test. He really does not like reading, so it's kind of a chore. I'm trying to figure it out a bit, because there are certain things I see. I think he's an ESFP, but he's really maybe an ISFP. I don't really know. Either way, he's an SF. Of that I'm certain, and a P I'm almost positive. He's actually more of the caring type. It's not that I'm not caring. I mean, I'm not caring, but he does most of the everything in the house. I'm more the one, oh, we have to do a big purchase, or we have to plan a big project. Let me just research that for 3 weeks and give us the best options and everything. But I don't know, unless I really have the time or to do something, or it's something that really interests me. But what I yearn now in life is knowledge. I mean, I'm an ITer, I'm a technician. I adored everything technology related since I was 5 years old, since my dad introduced us to our fabulous DOS running machine with, I think, 8 megabytes of RAM. It was amazing. Playing California games, Golden Axe, Larry, all of that, King Quest. It was a fantastic time. I don't know. I always loved it. I love a lot of things. I have broad interests, I think. Languages, I love languages as well. But to be honest, the only reason I know 3 languages is probably because I live in Belgium. And yeah, I mean, Flemish or Dutch solely is not going to get you very far. And in IT, not knowing English, it's a big no-no. So voila. What I'm hoping, what I'm yearning for a bit is more. I want to specialize in something. In IT field, the problem is I don't really know what, because I love it all. It's networking or system configuring, really more the technical side. I'm not a programmer. I don't have the patience. I don't have the anything. I like it. It's like magic. Ta-da! Here I write something, poof, and it's there. But I'm more I like troubleshooting. If I could just be a troubleshooter, like like you have a house doctor. An MD, I think it's called. I like being that for computers and I would like to be that, but for entire IT structures. So not only network, but I don't know. I would just like to be the one to come in and say, there's a fault, and we can fix it, and we can make it more efficient, and you have to do this often. Let's make a template and all of that. And sometimes as you may notice when I'm talking about IT, I get flu. very, very enthusiastic because I love it. It's really a passion of mine. And music and reading and video games and information gathering. I even googled once if it was possible to have an addiction on researching things. Just a Wikipedia addiction. I don't really know. I was the kid that, you know, at my grandmother's house when I was 11 or something. Oh, nice, an encyclopedia. Let's look in it. Ah, interesting. You know, the little books you get as children, 7, 8 years old. How does this work? How does that work? Everything about fish you ever wanted to know. All of that. Ah, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if it's interesting enough, I'll suck it in. I'm like a sponge. Okay. That's basically also, think about the time when you felt you were at your finest. Well, basically, for example, all of the moments I described before, like when after solving this really, really hard problem, all of the moments I think about are, okay, some are a bit emotional, like for example when I was finally together, or when my to-be husband proposed. It's fantastic moments, but when I really felt good, I mean, when I felt very valuable or in sync with myself, it's when I'm done troubleshooting a big, weird, very, very hard issue. Then I feel I'm ecstatic. You can scrape me off the walls. I'm bouncing everywhere. What makes you feel inferior? Making faults, mistakes, even when it are really tiny things. I mean, it's, or when people question this is going to sound very NTP-ish, my logic. I mean, or if I do something for a reason. I just don't go around willy-nilly doing whatever, except, like physical things, like with friends or something that I would do, but intellectually or on my job, I do something for a reason, and that there's a reasoning behind it, and when you give me a hard time because I missed one little detail that cost us like maybe 5 minutes, but everything else I did in this process made it like 5 hours faster. What are you bitching about? You know? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm digressing. I'm so sorry. So yeah, feeling incompetent. It's maybe one of the reasons why I'm not beginning to study further, because I'm just so afraid that I won't be able to study in school. I never grasped the concept. I'm not someone. I can't. I had friends that told me, just learn it, and then when it's done, you forget half it. It's okay. It doesn't work like that in my head. I need to grasp it. I need to understand it. If I understand it, it's okay. It's in there, and okay. Sometimes it needs to be a little bit refreshed, but it's okay. But if I don't understand it, it's useless. I just can't get it in there. And then after a while, they were, come on, you have so much potential, yay. Why can't you just learn this? Because I don't care. It's not interesting to me. I have tried to cram it in my head. It just doesn't work, and I'm kind of afraid. I'm afraid that will happen again. So I'm sort of holding the boat off. I'm also holding the boat off until my My youngest is 2.5, so I'm waiting till he's a little bit older. Oh my god, this video is becoming really long. Okay, I'm going to do it a bit quicker. Describe us a time where you had a lot of fun. Well, basically the problem solving stuff, or maybe going to a party with some good friends and just dancing the night away, but not your, I don't know. I mostly go to underground parties like drum and bass and Goa, and it's different. I mean, it's smaller. It's a lot more. You bump into someone, it's like, hey, what are you doing? So, oh, sorry, here, let me buy you a beer. Hey, oh, chillax, man. It's awesome. Okay. When you learn something new, what feels more natural to you? I already explained that. When working on a project, I'm not doing it completely in the correct order, sorry. When working on a project, what is normally your emphasis? Do you like to have control, or I have to scroll, of the outcome? I don't, to be honest, I don't really understand what they mean with this question. I'm in work, when it's like a really big project and my piece is only a little piece, I just do what they ask me, and I like to know what happens, but I don't need to have good control on it per se. If it's something really personal, yeah, well then, like for example, my wedding invitation, it will only be printed when I say it is ready to be printed, you know. How organized do you think of yourself as? That phrase sounds so weird. Not really. More than some people, but a lot less than other people. I kind of seem to get most of the things done. For example, now I have an Excel sheet with like things I can tag off. My brother-in-law sent it to me for my wedding. So whoop whoop. I'm being very super efficient and all of that. But generally, I don't know. I'm not. Sometimes I make lists, but they're more impressions of tasks, unless I make them for my boyfriend slash to be husband, because it's, if there's vegetables on it, he will call me to ask which vegetables. So I need to write these vegetables, you know. For me, it's vegetables. Enough. I will think in the store, whatever. What shall I take? Okay, then, how do you judge new ideas? Anne, what tends to weigh on your decisions? Do you think about people, pro, cons, how you feel about it, etc.? Okay. What people will feel about it and how they will react, it depends if these are people that I care about or not. If these are people I don't care about, I don't really care. I'm sorry, it's a bit harsh, but if it's my family, for example, I'm not I didn't invite family except my sister to my bachelor party because, well, I don't really like big party thingies, and I heard a lot of them were a bit disappointed. It's not that I didn't want them there, but I didn't feel like they would clash well with my friends, and you know, but I am kind of tight with my family, so I sort of proposed, let's do a brunch or something like that, something simple, something small. At least that way I can talk with you guys instead of having one large group where I don't get to speak with anybody because I have to do stupid things. And luckily, my witness isn't like that, so that won't happen, I hope. But so it weighs in it, but it's certainly not my main. If somebody else comes with me with the problem or something like that, I'm always the person to say, let's try and take emotion out of the equation. I'm not saying it will always be there, and also for me, and sometimes it's very present. but still, even then, it will get its place in the list. It will be, sometimes it will be a very big place in the list, but it will still be a place in the list with all the pros, the contras, the contraindications. How will it affect me, other people, or finances, or a future plan? I try to see the whole picture. I try to fit it in there. So how do you judge new ideas? Do you try to understand the principles behind it to see if they make sense, or do you look for information that supports it? I will always try to understand the principles before, because I'm the one. But okay, let me interrupt you. What exactly do you mean by that? Okay, and how are you going to do that? What's the reasoning behind this? Okay, so that's doing that. Or it's very annoying for some people, but I need to do it because else they continue, and in my head I'm still on that thing they said, and it needs to I need to get it, or I will basically miss the rest of the explanation. It's very, sometimes it can be annoying for other people, for me. Um, you find harmony by making sure everyone is doing fine and belonging to a given group, or making sure that you follow what you believe. Oh, you find harmony by making sure, or by making sure that you follow what you believe and being yourself. Both. I can't really. It's kind of a tie there. I need to be authentic. For me, I mean, there are some things I just really don't like, and for example, we were at a gathering at a friend's place, and there was somebody there that was very verbally aggressive. It's something, not, she wasn't being aggressive, but she was. It wasn't a behavior I could appreciate, so I told that it was kind of blunt apparently, but I just had to tell that. Mm, so I don't know. If I really have to choose, I will make my stand, even if it disrupts the harmony. But I'd rather not, if it's not something really important. Are you the kind that thinks before speaking or speak before thinking? Oh God, it's both. I think it depends on. I think most of the time I think before speaking, but I think really fast most of the time. So, but I'm also thinking while I'm speaking. So that's my future hobby. Do you jump into action right away, or do you like to know where you're jumping before leaping? Does action speak more than words? It's, I don't know. Sometimes I jump right into action if I'm really motivated. I sometimes I don't. Sometimes it needs to be talked over. It's Saturday, you're at home and your favorite show is about to start. Your friends call you for a night out. What will you do? Say I will need to wash my hair and I will be ready in plus minus the time it takes for that show to finish. Unless they're going to something stupid. How do you act when you're stressed out? I think I become emotional and mad. I can become really furious and mad, and it's like, and then at that moment I think SI is kicking in, because I'm recalling everything. It's not just that moment. It's all of the moments and all of the feelings that led up to that specific point, and it just explode. It's not it's not nice to look at. What makes you dislike the personalities of some people? Stupid people, people that don't think. I don't mean people that are unintelligent or maybe not book smart or whatever you will call it, but people that just say, even if you present them with evidence that something is just completely wrong, their theory is flawed, that their logic is just not sound, and they say, oh, it doesn't matter. It's or people that I'm very specific when I speak. Maybe it's not noticeable because I'm speaking in English, but when I say I want a little bit of this, I mean a little bit of this. I don't mean a lot. I don't mean almost nothing. I mean a little bit. I'm talking, of course, about more complicated nuances, but just to give an example, and people that just don't get that. People that do irrational, illogical things, like, I don't know, or people that are complete hypocrites, or injustice, people that are, even if the person being treated unjustly is somebody I really despise, at that moment I'm going to fight for him, not physically, because I'm a wimp, but I'm going to stand up, because stand up. It depends on how bad the situation is, but it will have a big effect on me. And I'm going to, even if the person doing it is somebody I normally really like, at that moment he's going to lose a lot of points with me. What kind of things do you pay the least attention to in your life? Traffic. I think I'm very dangerous when I'm crossing the street, because I'm reading a book and in the meantime I'm listening to something, and I'm sort of just watching my peripheral vision. Oh, people are moving, it must be green, whoop, and stuff like that. Pay least attention to in my life. Clutter. It's somewhere I read that word INTPs, ENTPs, I don't remember, and these maybe in general. After a while, if something is still laying on the same place, it becomes invisible. I really have that. I don't mean filth, but I mean clutter. And also it's for me. It's, oh, but I'm still going to use that. It's there for a purpose, you know. I know where it is, and it has a place. And it's really a long video, so I think I'm going to stop. I hope you have maybe enough to type me, even if you did not watch the whole video. If you did, ta-da, thank you. I wish I could put in like an Easter egg or something, but I can't, because it's a video. So voila, hopefully this might bring some more fruitful results. Maybe if it's only confirming INTP-ness. Of course, it's a bit... You've seen me talking a lot about things that interest me a lot, which might influence the... If this is not a site everybody gets to see of me. But I think some people might describe me as bubbly, and unless you have done something very wrong in my eyes, then I will destroy you intellectually, morally, to the bone, until there's nothing left but a pile of ash. But that's talk for another time. So, bye.